The coroner has identified the 20-year-old woman killed in a Lexington crash. Coming up, we have a warning from state police for anyone driving this Christmas. A Lexington delivery driver finds a bullet in his car after an early morning run. And a Kentucky woman says it's a sign thieves don't want her to be a part of the conversation about racial justice. That story's ahead.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Jennifer Palumbo reporting. We are learning more about the victim of a deadly crash in Lexington.
It happened on Winchester Road at Elkhorn Road near I-75 about 10:30 last night. 20-year-old Sarah Ramirez was killed when a semi hit her car during the storms. WKYT's Mark Barber has more on her family's heartbreaking loss just days before Christmas. It's our top story at 4:30.
For many families, Christmas Eve is a day filled with joy and excitement. However, for Soraya Ramirez's family, this will likely be a very difficult day filled with pain. They learned this morning that the 20-year-old was killed in a crash here on Winchester Road. Ramirez was killed around 10:30 last night when a semi-truck crashed into her. She was a passenger in a car that was making a left turn onto Elkhorn Road. The driver in the car was hurt and he was rushed to UK Hospital to be treated for his injuries. We're told he is expected to survive. It was raining hard when the wreck happened, but police tell us they don't know if the poor driving conditions played a part in the crash. There are not many details about Ramirez or her driver. Investigators don't know how they were connected. However, they say they do know Ramirez recently moved to Lexington from Las Vegas. As more people start hitting the road, traveling for Christmas, state police are asking drivers to take their safety seriously. They're urging drivers to be aware of their surroundings and to slow down, buckle up, and drive defensively. They don't want to work another fatal wreck. While police still do not know why the fatal crash happened here on Winchester Road, we do know that the driver of that semi-truck will not be charged. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
So far, Kentucky State Police have worked 72 more deadly crashes this year compared to the same time last year. Well, the storms have moved out of the Bluegrass area for now, but the warmer temperatures have not.
It's good to see that rain, the sun today. I was going to say rain, we've been soaked. But heavy rain expected to come back just in time, unfortunately, for your Christmas day. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Jim?
Yeah, I mean, we could be talking about more flood potential around here with the rounds of rain that we could run into starting tomorrow about mid-morning, and then it lasts through the day. Flood watch in effect for parts of our area, mainly southeastern Kentucky. But at the moment, it's hard to think about any of that. Today is a fantastic travel day because we have recovered quite nicely from last night's terrible weather that was rolling across the Commonwealth. We're sunny and we're in the mid and upper 60s with even some 70s thrown into the mix as well. From London down to Middlesboro, both around 70 and 71 degrees in those areas. And you're finding a lot of sunshine. I mean, it's hard to find any cloud cover. A little high, thin stuff showing up here in central Kentucky, and it's starting to thicken up right there along the Kentucky and Virginia state line. And we're going to watch clouds increase from south to north during the overnight hours tonight. So let's break it down because we've got a lot coming at us through the weekend. Tonight, clouds increase, as I mentioned, from south to north across Kentucky. Another round of showers and thunderstorms on Christmas Day, potentially bringing some flooding. And then Saturday and Sunday, heavy rains could still hang around, at least on Saturday. A little break into Sunday, but it will ramp up again before we go into winter. Believe it or not, it's coming back. We'll track all of these changes, and there's a lot coming up in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. The investigation continues today into shots fired at a pizza delivery driver in Lexington overnight. The Domino's employee was making a delivery to the Coulavin Apartments on West 6th Street when he heard several gunshots. He told police he thought the shots came from a silver Chrysler 300. The driver was not hurt, but when he got back to work, he found a bullet hole in his car. Some people in Louisville say they're upset. Their Black Lives Matter signs are being stolen right out of their yards.
Emily Muir talked to one woman about the thefts.
Shannon Woolley Allison lives in Louisville's Germantown neighborhood. Recently, she was approached by a group called Show Up for Racial Justice about putting a Black Lives Matter sign in her yard.
Absolutely. I want to be a part of this conversation about Black Lives Matter, and I want my neighbors to know that I want to be a part of this conversation. So having a sign in the yard is logical.
But her sign disappeared in less than an hour.
It was noon when I put it up. By 1 o'clock, it was gone.
Organizers with Louisville Surge say this is happening all over the city. The group has a door-to-door campaign and provides Black Lives Matter signs to the residents who want them. But dozens of the signs have come up missing.
I was angry, because that's my yard. That's my sign.
Allison says this is a step in the wrong direction for equality.
They're taking the sign down says to me, they don't want to be a part of the conversation about racial justice. They also don't want me to be a part of that conversation. And that's really surprising to me and really sad to me.
She says even if the signs offend people, they shouldn't take them off private properties.
I'm not asking you to put a sign in your yard. I'm asking you to let the conversation happen and to come to the table and be part of it. Fixing white privilege is white people's job. That's our job. So, the least I can do is put a sign in my yard that says Black Lives Matter.
This time of year, we see extra cheer being spread. Well, tonight, how one young lady is hoping you'll be inspired by her random acts of kindness. Gracie Page isn't your typical 12-year-old. She doesn't have a cell phone and isn't glued to her tablet. She enjoys reading, crocheting, and baking. The Fleming County tween also loves helping others, and she's found a way to do that by creating in the kitchen. Recently, she came up with a way to treat others through her love of baking.
Gracie's Good Eats is for just a random act of kindness for people who just need a smile on their face sometimes.
Coming up tonight at 6, WKYT's Amber Philpott has more on Gracie's random acts of baked goodness and why she believes there needs to be more kindness in the world.
It has become a holiday tradition, the annual bloodletting between UK and U of L, and the big game happens this Saturday. The Kentucky Wildcats will be looking to bounce back from their loss to Ohio State after falling in Brooklyn. Coach John Calipari said opposing teams will smell blood in the water when they play Kentucky. It's a matchup of two top 20 teams. Coverage here on WKYT will begin with Wildcat warm-up at 11:30 Saturday morning, followed by the game at noon.
All right, volunteers have, of course, been tracking Santa all day. I think they've got like 1,500. They've been putting their Santa hats on, the phone lines are ringing up, and the screens are lighting up to track Santa. Members of the military, they're currently tracking Santa's movements. Just a short while ago, I talked to Lieutenant Commander Richland Ivy, and here's what she had to say about all the fun going on there.
So we start around about December 1st, and we start the planning and execution for this one day out of the year where we track Santa Claus. We have about 1,500 volunteers that come to the NORAD Track Santa Operations Center to help support this operation.
Now, I hear all kinds of people there in the background just talking and phones ringing. Kids are calling in right now, and maybe some adults too, trying to find out exactly where Santa is, correct?
Yes, so right now Santa is in Egypt. He's already delivered today about 2 billion gifts around the world. So Santa is moving, around the world, and he's being pretty busy today.
So no major issues for him. We've had some pretty wild weather here across the states and internationally as well. No major issues out there for him at all?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but it's Santa Claus, and he knows this is the one day out of the year that he has to perform this mission, so it's a top priority for him. So nope, he's used to the weather, and no matter what, he's going to get those gifts out to the good girls and boys out there.
And lastly here, there's an old legend that says it was a wrong phone number that led to NORAD tracking Santa all these years. What, the 60th year that this has been going on? How did that happen?
Yes, this is the 60th year of NORAD tracking Santa. A number was printed in an ad in the local newspaper here, and a colonel at the Continental Air Defense Command at the time answered the phone, and he took the calls, he spoke with the children, and that started the tradition that we're still seeing 60 years later.
And if you or your little ones want to track Santa yourself, just go to WKYT.com and look for the story right there on our homepage. We got it nice and high, so it's easy to find Santa.
There are special Christmas Eve services going on all over the Bluegrass tonight.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about at Central Christian Church with a special treat from the children's choir. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Merry Christmas Eve from Central Christian Church, where the doors just opened a little bit ago for some special Christmas Eve services. 5 o'clock here in just a few minutes, and then again at 11 o'clock tonight, a special invitation for you to come out from Pastor David Shirey. This is a great night celebrating Christ's birth. The children are here. The family service is here in just a few minutes, but you want to invite everybody out.
Oh, absolutely. It's, 10 till 5 now, so if you can make it down here for this one, come on. The late service, the doors open at 10:30, and again, everyone is invited to celebrate Christmas Eve with us here at Central.
And it's a come as you are night.
Absolutely. Just come and be here.
All right, a special treat for you now from the Kids Sing Choir here at Central Christian Church. Beautiful sight to see. You can come take part in the services again, 5 o'clock here in just a few minutes, or 11 o'clock tonight, candlelight service, complete with Christmas carols and all here at Central Christian Church. Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you, Deanne.
So sweet to see the children in their robes, their sweet little voices.
Christmas is all about children. Yeah. We first told you yesterday about the Christmas gift from the Beatles at 12:01 this morning. The Fab Four's catalog became available worldwide on streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music.
As DeMarco Morgan explained, streaming will not only generate millions of dollars a year, but will reintroduce John, Paul, Ringo, and George to millions of young music lovers.
An epidemic called Beatlemania has seized the teenage population.
Their music defined a decade.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog.
And a generation. Now, the Beatles are again embracing revolution.
You say you want a revolution. Ooh, I need your love, babe.
Allowing millions of fans to stream their poppy melodies and catchy hooks.
She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care.
And giving a whole new generation a ticket to one of the greatest music catalogs in history.
It's important because it's the Beatles. The Beatles changed everything about popular music.
There was no announcement by surviving members Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, just a 35-second video featuring a medley of popular songs, letting the music speak for itself.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby.
From Please, Please Me.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
To Let It Be. All 13 original studio albums plus 4 compilations are now available on 9 major streaming services. 224 songs in total, including all 20 of the Fab Four's #1 hits.
Paul McCartney, if you are listening, Adrian from Brooklyn loves you with all her heart.
'Cause I don't care too much for money, but money can buy me love.
And while millions of fans will benefit from this agreement, it's a huge validation for the streaming music industry, where revenue has jumped from $1 billion in 2012 to nearly $1.9 billion in 2014.
We're past the tipping point. It's not about music ownership anymore, it's about music access. And if you want to keep up with listeners who feel that way, and those listeners tend to be younger, then you need to be on streaming services.
The decision comes as high-profile artists like Prince and Taylor Swift have resisted the streaming revolution over low royalties. And Adele's new album, 25, has sold at least 6 million copies despite being barred from streaming platforms.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Still, the Beatles, initially slow to go digital, now seem ready to ride the wave.
This decision for the Beatles, in some sense, is about retaining relevancy. They don't want their music to be left out. They want their music, as they did when they were first making it, to be immortal.
Into the light of a dark black night.
I was in my shorts, short sleeve shirt, and somebody looked at me and said, I mean, people look at you like, well, that's the way it is right now.
I know, and I saw people driving with the tops down on their convertibles today. Jim Caldwell, take advantage of it while you can, right?
Yeah, you better, because we do have some winter in my 7-day forecast. Finally, it starts to show up a little bit. You're right, convertibles, motorcycles, and I'm not talking about somebody dressed for winter on those motorcycles. They look pretty casual out there. It was very warm, and it still is. 63 degrees is about 20 degrees warmer than where we should be. I mean, just unbelievable. How about London still coming in with the warmest spot I can find anywhere on that map? They are at 70 degrees right now. Just a gorgeous Christmas Eve here across Kentucky. Here we go into our forecast for you. As we go through the evening hours, it should be fairly nice for you, around 62 or so, I think. And then we get into the overnight, and you see Santa flying by there. We're looking at temperatures around 52 degrees with the clouds beginning to increase, because tomorrow, guys, it looks like a very wet, not white, a very wet Christmas. We'll track all those details coming up at 5 o'clock, too.
We will see you then, Jim. Thanks. A good deed pays off, and an unwanted traveler at the airport. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
A homeless busboy in Colorado is thousands of dollars richer because he refused to keep $3,000 he found at work. Johnny Thumper Duckworth washes dishes at Randy's Southside Diner in Grand Junction. Right now, he is homeless, and he's staying with friends. And while working Tuesday, Thumper found $3,000 in an envelope on the floor of the restaurant. Despite his own financial struggles, he gave the money right away to his boss, who then found the rightful owner. Restaurant owner Randy Emmons then set up a GoFundMe account for Thumper, hoping to reward him for his good deed. So 24 hours after being created, the account had raised more than $15,000.
Wow.
You never know. It comes back to you when you give.
That's right. Well, a wily coyote somehow found a way into Myrtle Beach International Airport. Surveillance video shows the coyote running through the baggage terminal. No word on how he got in. Animal control was called in, and it took about 45 minutes to wrangle the determined coyote. They deny rumors they caught him by sending in a road runner for him to chase.
Wow. By the way, check out our Facebook page on WKYT. We have a video with the man stopped by the studio today.
That's right. He
Santa
came by and took a selfie.
Yeah, so check out the video. Much more to come now on WKYT at 5 o'clock.